James Will, Lieutenant. I started at OCS in Newport, Rhode Island, and that was in July of 1965. And then I graduated from OCS in November of '65. Went off to San Francisco, my first duty station, which was damage control school, and where I was there, I think, for 3 months. And then from there I went to Long Beach, where I was I joined the USS McKean DD 784 as the damage control officer and repair officer, brand new ensign. I was on the McKean from, let me see, that was the early 1966. We made 2 Westpac cruises during the period of time that I was on the McKean. Most of that was gunfire support off of the coast of Vietnam and plane guarding off of Point Yankee, and much of that was because of the if any aircraft were shot down, we were out there to pick them up. The exciting part of the job was I was also responsible for in-flight refueling, and the SH-3 helicopters would come down. They would actually hover over the stern of the ship. We would send up a hose, and they would refuel in midair. And so we, at one point during the second cruise, we were having problems with, we thought maybe water in the fuel. And so they sent me back to the USS Bennington to have our equipment checked out. The following day, we were lifting off from the aircraft carrier, and the captain had refused to put us into the wind, and I know the pilot of the helicopter was really upset. We got about 200 feet up in the air, and the tail rotor, the universal joint to the tail rotor, snapped. Somehow the pilot, I don't know how he did it, he was able to maneuver us back over the flight deck. We came crashing into the flight deck, spun around on the flight deck until we hit the island. Luckily we hit the island, or we all would have been dead, because it took me 10 minutes to get out of the emergency hatch when we finally came to rest. The rotor blades went in all kinds of directions. We destroyed 2 other helicopters that were on the flight deck, just with the rotors going right straight through them. I was the only one who was injured with a broken leg and bad shoulder, bad knee, stuff like that. But next day I was back on my destroyer and on duty, even though I was in a cast and sling. But we were off the coast of Vietnam. So during that same cruise, we had anchored off of Vung Tau in Vietnam, and a swift boat, a brand new swift boat with a crew came on alongside, and they, of course, they were always, like we learned later on, we were exchanging the stuff that we got on the base, fruit and stuff like that, for beef normally, or coffee. And I started talking to the Lieutenant JG, who was the head on the swift boat as the O&C, and it seemed intriguing.